Okay, we're so back. I mean, we just started. Okay, publicity time. I'm taking this link, making it go everywhere. Yeah. Blah, blah. Blah, blah. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Oh, hey, look, person. So, where's my live? Where's my live stream? There it is. I found somebody doing this, and I was like, sure, you know what? Why don't I try it? I've realized it's not as easy as people make it seem. This is what I've written down, and I have no idea what else to do. Okay. Q. Can we try something like this? Just try random consonants and think, do they work? Cause this. I'd be careful with what I show on screen. I'm gonna close a lot of these windows. Windows? Operating system Windows? Yeah, close these, close all windows of this, of Paint. Yes, don't save. Okay. And then hide this. Okay. We are ready to go. So I was thinking this ah semi-vowel here corresponds to a r at the end of these words. It's like ishkua. This fewer iskor. That might mean something. I don't know. Translating Japanese slang. I've ever heard of Japanese slang. called pseudo-Chinese. People just leave the kanji so it resembles Chinese and Chinese because I don't understand. I have not heard that. Let's see. Look that up. Pseudo-Chinese. Pseudo. First appeared around 2009. Grammatically Japanese in every way. Cool. Chinese but Japanese. Japanese but Chinese. Okay. Maybe this W. This word initial W. Try to just like create sound correspondences, you know? Yeah. Is also which is like it makes sense kinda. I was thinking since these branches are all tonal, you should maybe try to reconstruct those. Because it's like what you think is that these branches are a part of a separate family than these, you know? All their words are shorter because it's tonal. I was able to figure out this, which it was pretty self-explanatory. This. Okay, that's another thing we can maybe try. Branch C seems to have a lot of consonant loss, like orthogonal consonant loss. Geshti, gesh. Maybe it's like I don't know. Maybe it's Zhou next to a plosive, but Zhou next to a fricative, like that. Is that even a fricative? I would think so. Voiceless, yeah, it is. Go back and check the chat. We need to establish general sound correspondences. In branch D, it seems like there's so much consonant loss that all the reflexes, except for this one word. So in the only place where it's still kept, it is an S. In branch E, sh. But then you also have to think like, because we can't just base it off of branch A, right? Because there's mergers and splits and here's what I was thinking. We have, get my pen out. This, and we know this goes to that, but we also know that I don't think every. Here's what I think. The similarities of branches A and B, I think, are too similar to ignore. I think what we can do for now is just try to reconstruct Proto AB. I think trying to reconstruct smaller branches first, and then trying to build it up from there works. Pride Month, did you know that TB TB looks different today? Tennis ball. Is it like a? Did they do another community post? Is that what I'm guessing? This is a complete guess. I don't even know if you're saying TB as in tennis ball. I mean, surely it won't be that hard to scroll all the way down to a year ago. Yeah. Tomorrow. Yeah, they're almost at 3 million. Scroll, 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 scroll. Ah, my pen. Give me to me. Like, is that reasonable? I think it's reasonable to reconstruct the smaller branches. Okay. I know. Here's something I also found. Short U. I don't know. It goes to this and it goes to this here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna switch to my international keyboard, and I'm going to write it as that. So it's graphically a U, but phonetically an U. We can try to reconstruct the words. What's this? I can make like a CZ type thing, you know, but I want it to be like phonetically consistent. So I think there's maybe just this one thing that I can do. I'm losing my train of thought. Just don't orthographize a lot of these for now. Look at the want to do because branch A has pitch accent and branch B has stress accent. The glottal stop is retained in all of the words, and like it's the same in both. So I think it's just safe to say that the glottal stop is just there's a glottal stop in Proto AB. I need music. What's um I don't know. Do I want to do this? Music helps me focus better, and it helps me retain information. Like it helps me think. It helps me think, and it helps you guys pay attention. It helps you guys to not click off. Like background music. Is that too loud? I don't think it's too loud. Okay. Perfecto. These two are actually pretty easy. So this initially becomes this, and anywhere else like that becomes the. And there's the in other places. Wait. Yeah, every time you see a the here, because like it's two different things, right? We can presume that it was just like this here. Oh wait, see now we're cooking. And then I don't even need to write this down because it's already over there. And then the but it doesn't go like that for all of them. Because there's one thing. So we want to look for just an A. Sh. It's the here, uh, the here. That's part of a different thing. L here and L here. So normally it is this. And then for these two words, there's something different about them. Which it's either there's something that's different than all of the other ones, or there's something unique about just these two. And I'm not really seeing anything. Because it goes to the in all of the ones except these two. So there's something unique about the sh in just this. Or maybe it's something that's only retained in the other branches. You don't know. It could be that it was a different phoneme that evolved into sh separately, that they merged into sh. So what would that be? You can assume this is like l, and then maybe it was a just complete guess. Maybe this, z, the voiced version. So in Proto, z and l both evolved into sh, and then z evolved into z, and l evolved into l. You think that's possible? Do you think that's possible? Also, I'm using pitch accent for the reconstruction, just because it feels nicer. I don't know. So we can try to reconstruct some words, right? Oh, a wrapper stuck in my mouth. That's something that don't happen every day. Hey, you want to know what would be funny? What if we mixed? Actually, no. What if we did this? No, you know what? No. No, hold on. Bring that here. We need to figure out. Because is it like that in everyone? That's E, that's E, that's E, that's E, that's E. That's a semivowel, so it doesn't count. Only short U's count. So this wouldn't count. E, 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 E. Okay. And you're thinking, because branch B doesn't have a U of its own. Except for in this one word. But I'm thinking this is probably a semivowel. So I'm going to assume this is this. Wait, no. It's U. It's U in Proto. Because it was U in Proto, branch A kept it, and it evolved into U in branch A, which is why. I mean, in branch B, which is why branch B doesn't have U anymore. It's going to be incredibly easy to reconstruct this. Because they're just so similar. That. What's in chat? Haven't checked chat in a while. Okay, nothing new. And then does N stay the same? N is a pretty weird consonant, but would it stay the same? There's a voiceless N in this language. I think that's something we probably need to write down. There's a voiceless N and a normal N. And they both. There's a voiceless N and a normal N in Proto. But they both correspond to an N in branch B. Which means I'm fact checking myself. Yeah. Which means I would assume that Proto also had a voiceless and voiced N, which just both merged to be voiced in branch B. I'm bolding these two. Okay. I'm turning on my fan. If I don't have my fan on for long enough, I just start getting sick. And it'd be a lot easier to turn on my fan if I knew where my remote was. Intermission. I lost something. I need to find it now, or else I'm gonna lose it forever. That's something, and I know you can relate. I know everybody can relate. If I do not find something right now, I will never have it again in my life. And that's just how it works. It will be, and the only way I'll ever be able to find it again is if I like randomly get it in like 2 years from now. So I found it. There we go. Now my fan is on. I need to invent one symbol that evolves into sh in branch A and j in branch B. Um, right? Branch C. Also, I'm pretty sure because there's just a lot of like because voiceless N becomes voiced N, sh becomes the. Yeah. What are other things examples of? Yeah, p becomes b. So I think it's safe to say, well, you know, because either there was a big D voicing in branch A or there was a big voicing in branch B. I know. I'm just gonna have to pick one. Is it gonna be? But that means I'm gonna have to choose the voiceless. If there's a voiced voiceless counterpart in this, I'm gonna have to choose the voiced version. Which I should probably just say voiced, unvoiced. It's like a general thing, and not just this. Okay, so we're just gonna assume that branch A devoiced the consonant, and then A. Welcome, McDonald's. Can I get your order? Can I get one acute accent, please? Thank you very much. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We have the phoneme ch in branch A. Every time we see ch in branch A, it corresponds with th in branch B. Here's what I'm thinking. In Proto, it was in affricate th, which then evolved into th and th. Right? See what I'm coming from? That seems that makes sense, right? I think it makes sense. I think it just makes sense. Like it just makes sense. It just makes sense. I'm turning the music down. Why did it get turned up? I don't know why. Uh, Proto. Yes, I'm not calling it Proto anything. I'm just saying Proto. Okay. I haven't really checked the vowels at all. But assuming how, because this is like the semi-vowel. But seeing that it has it in, except except this one, it might be a typo, however, because it is the only word in this branch to have a normal and not ah. So what I'm assuming, I might just assume this, right? Is that they meant to say al shuen. They meant this to be ah and not ah. Is what I'm saying. Is what I'm saying. Music. We need music in our lives. Okay. This e e e e e e e e e e e e. That's interesting. Could I say? Are there any cases of word final accented e in this, or is it an irregular sound change? Because this is the only one, right? Or we could assume that word final accented. Or maybe it's an irregular sound change. Who knows? Okay. I've been playing this for too long. Anything else? Trade X. Actually, no. This. Okay, sure, yeah. Just don't play, I guess. But assuming how, like, if there's a, like, there's not, if I can find another word final accented I, and this, that'd be great. But seeing how there is none, another case of a stressed final I. Because branch C is kind of untrustworthy. Because, like, there's just so much so much other sound change. There's, like, so much consonant loss, so much, yeah. Oh, there we go. Timely on. It's, I don't know, dude. I didn't really account for this vowel here. Is that just a thing? Oh, 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 oh. Seems legit. And then there's this. I don't know. I'm seeing how this doesn't have an. This doesn't have O, and this doesn't have O, except for this one. So I'm dying. So we can just see for this right now, just in general. In general, this, that, it's this, because it's easier to type. So it'd be this. Okay, etel. I mean, they're literally the exact same word. If something is the exact same word in both descendants, I think it's safe to say that it's the same word in its parent language. I mean, literally the only thing that happened is that branch B switched from pitch accent to stress accent. which is just a fancy way of saying nothing happened in both languages. Okay, we know that this is gonna be, yeah, we chose the voiced variant, which means it'll be this. Like, and then we have this little variant here. How did I not see that before? Because, like, I was checking through. I think I swapped them. Yeah, these are swapped. This is supposed to be here, and this is supposed to be there. Because I remember that was only there in the initial position. So I was just assuming that, you know? So I think I accidentally swapped those in the chart. Am I leaning more heavily towards the B side? Or is it just so happen to be like branch B is more conservative, whereas branch A is more woke? See what I did there? See what I did there? I took a normal thing and made it about politics. It's getting late. Yeah. Okay. Did I accidentally close the window? No, I didn't. It just closed too suddenly. I was like, huh. And then there's this. How do we get normal L? I mean, the normal L is just the same in both. You see what I'm saying? Normal L is just the same in both. We have Shazlu, Javlu, Shazlokhu, Shavlokhu. It's le. And it's the same thing here where there's an L in both. So I think it's just safe to say that there's this. And then now U, I. Okay. There's a Y. And it's a Y in both. And Y stays the same in both languages. So I'm assuming that, it's just a J in both. It's just a Y. You. So it's like, oh, that's the fun part where you see one consonant that corresponds to two things. So you're like, oh, which one is it? And you have to use the correspondence. You have to use the cognate in branch B to be like, oh, well, if it's that, then it's this. And what are these phonologies, dude? Like, these words. Blah. Oh, right, yeah. Resume music for no one. Non-existy as the cool kids call him. Cool kid? Dun-dun-dun. You. Pretty sure I said that it's this. Okay, there's this. So whenever you see a s here, it's z here. So that becomes that, and that becomes that. So it's an S here, a Z here. We use the voiced version when there's a voiced unvoiced thing. And of course, still a lot of the choices I'm making for having it be like this are completely arbitrary. In the sense that, bro, this can't be a thing. If this was a complete accident, like that's not a word. That can't be, because there's a word in branch F that's a t, like a two. Like you can't make TS up. You can't make TS up. Okay, stop scrolling through. See, you notice how as soon as the music stops, I get sidetracked. I mean, it really does just look like a mix between the two, which is really great. Okay, it was just the. I mean, you got to choose one. It's got to be one or the other. I'm going with branch B and the voiced voiceless counterparts, but I'm going with branch A in the fact that I'm keeping pitch accent. Okay. See how much easier it becomes? Okay, P and B. Is that a regular thing? P becomes B, P, B, P. Ooh, okay. So it's the fact that it's different in branch B and not in branch A. So there's becomes P and then B generally, but then P and then it stays P. Well, I mean, you can't choose. That's the thing, right? Because you can't choose a voice for everything. So it's gonna be something like this, where actually I've swapped them because when this basically says it's originally P, and then it stays P in branch A, and then it becomes B in branch B, unless it is word initial. See what I'm getting at? But it means it's originally P. Okay, the W stays the same. W is just a W in both. This A vowel. I mean, it's the same in both, so I mean, you kind of just gotta do it. If it's the same in both, it's the same in the proto language, right? I mean, unless both branches coincidentally happen to undergo the same sound change, under which if you were reconstructing a proto language, then you'd have no way to know that that happened. Maybe there was Broadband interference where one of the branches had the sound change and then punched the other one until it did that sound change too. So it's a P. Okay. New thing. Do we do... I'm not asking anybody. I'm asking myself. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't care which song we do. If I don't win on anything, I'm gonna... yeah. I already did this one though, so it's... No, I already also did this one. So it's gotta be this. So then it's the one that does this. This one's already really quiet. I'm gonna turn it down a little anyway. Is it too loud? It might be too loud. It might. KMS. Luckily, there's no one watching, so nobody's gonna kill me. What do you mean harmony language in Manchukuo? What does that mean? Okay. We choose the voice version. No, I don't want Javu. So the one, V and the. That means it's just a V. And then it's L in both. If it's L in both, then just do L. Okay, now we have this voiceless velar affricate K. Since the sound isn't in English, I'm going to write it down. Also, just because this sound is so cool. K. 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 Okay, and then it's pretty much just a direct correspondence to K every time. And what do we say we do? I would say do K. However, others all like this already has K. Unless, hold on. As we have the, we could do an orthography change. We could have this be K, and the ancestor of G in this. But like, see, there's a K here, so I can't really do that. I'm gonna say it's more likely to get less complex than more complex, which means that the sound is gonna go from a more it's gonna go from a more complex sound to a less complex sound. And if you ask me, then this is a more complex sound, so that came first. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. What's next? I'm just attempting to do an entire vocabulary. Okay, so this. This is really interesting. So there's and every time we have one of these, it's like a at the end, right? And then I thought that, and then I realized that's actually wrong. Because in this one, do I just assume that it changed irregularly to that? I can say that it just changed irregularly to that, right? Because you think, right, okay, let's just have it be this. Because, like, if it, you'd think there's, like, a bit of, like, British style non-rhoticism, right? Where it, like, just, it goes from to ua. It's just more likely to do something like that, you know? Yeah, you feel me. You know what I mean. I'm talking to nobody. I'm still talking to nobody. But the nobody knows what I mean. The nobody knows. The nobody knows. It's not that nobody knows. No. Here's what I'm saying, right? And you're gonna understand me when I say this. It's not that nobody knows. It's that nobody knows. Like nobody as a buddy. And you know what I mean. And what does it evolve into normally? So it's I don't understand. We're gonna look for all of the cases of this and see what it is like what it comes back to. Honestly, no, we don't need that right now. We don't need that right now. Because of this. We're not doing a word with that right now. So it's just simply put, were it to be here and it's a P here, it's still a P. Where it's sh and zla, that. And then it's like this, yes. See, for just these two branches, it's slowly coming into place. Okay, my fan's making me cold now, but I don't care because I'm not that cold. Okay, I should stop. Stop. Now we have this new phoneme alert. And it appears that every time we see this, it's the same thing. So I'm just gonna, and then K becomes K. Is it before the nasal? It becomes that. I mean, think about this. Turn the music back on. Thank you. Here, before a vowel becomes K. Here, before a consonant becomes G. Here, before a consonant becomes G. Here, before a vowel, it becomes K. Here, before a consonant becomes G. Here, before a consonant, it becomes G. Here's what I think is going on. We have K here and K here. Some places it becomes K, some places it becomes G. And you know what's going on? K before a vowel, it's K. But K before a consonant becomes G. Now we're cooking. We are absolutely cooking. Okay, we need to figure out what this evolves to. R, that, that. Okay. So we know, and what are the places, right? In branch, in branch A, it's this. And in branch B, it becomes a trill because it's really similar sound. I don't even know how to do a uvular trill. Like, it just comes out as fricative. I don't even know how to do a uvular trill. So what we could do is have this letter stand in as a capital R. Make it do a little dance. He's so happy. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use like this replacement sign here. This letter basically is a thing that says I don't know how it's pronounced. It's either it becomes a like oh I sure love my feeler trail. It becomes this in branch A, it becomes this in branch B. What it was originally, I don't know. It could be either one of the two. What it is this? I don't know. Actually, you know what'd be really cool? Bold. All of the because that is it's so much nicer. And you know what would be so much nicer? Putting this in all in like Times New Roman and bumping the font size up by like to like 13. Look how much better that looks. This looks so professional. Like I'm not even like. But it raises the question: Who says that this is a? Who says that this is this? If, can it just be this? Like who says if it's the same phoneme in branch B, then who says it's the same phoneme in proto? Like it, then who says it can't be? It just evolved differently in branch A. Word finally it became semi-vowel A, and anywhere else it became this. However, that being said, there is one exception to this rule. Is that here? I think there's another one. I think there is another one. I'm actually gonna move this back here, this up here, and all of these can go up here. Who is sincere Sam? Who is Sam? That, that, that. Okay, so now we have a second one. This only appears one time, and I'm not even sure if it's like a correct thing. Actually, no, hold on. Because then I would need to go back and check all of the instances of this in branch A to make sure none of them are are after a consonant. Because what I was gonna do is CR, any consonant, and then and then this R sound, which would mean that in this, which would basically mean here it stays the same, but here it becomes ch. But what I'm kind of concerned about is because this is the only phoneme here with this, so we just kind of gotta guess on what the result was. Then we gotta think: is there any case of this phoneme after a consonant? And the answer is yes. We could say after any consonant, it's not a glottal stop. Or we could just call that an irregular sound change. Or we could say smashed in between a consonant and a accented vowel. That could work. Or we just kind of guess. Because, there's a lot of guessing in this thing. In life, there is many guessing. And plus, where are we? This. We're not going to interact with this until forever. So just delete this for now and move on. Okay, Q in both. Okay, didn't I say Times New Roman to everyone? So be bold. You're not in Times New Roman anymore. What's going on with you? Just do that. And I think, when was the last time you thought about it? T. Did I ever do a correspondence with T? I don't think so. I need to start writing more things down. Is it just the same in every one of them? No, okay. It's not the same in every one of them. You could say, there's two. No, I don't want to. I just want normal to. One of them is T, one of them is D. And it's the thing where except this time it's with that being word final. Yeah, the T originally. T, that can be in this position, or it can be in medial position. So if it's an initial or medial, it becomes. Well, actually, no. We don't know that because there's no initial T in either of these. So would it have to be just T in medial positions? But I'm assuming that it would be like this. But just for fun, let's do this. But then word final T, it's like this. So we can say T at the T normally stays the same in both branches. T at the end turns voiced in this. Think. What will you have in 500 years? I want to do time mop. Time mop is too irregular. I mean, I could try it, but it wouldn't turn out very good. What's in chat? Haven't checked chat in a while. Maybe there's someone new. No. Okay. Oh wait, no, never mind. One person just showed up. But anyway, pretty nifty list of proto words you got there. I got 10 proto words. Okay, what's next? Oh, we got a big one this time. Okay, first up. We know T, and I'm pretty sure we figured out a long time ago that J just stays the same in both. Yeah. We figured out a long time ago that J stays the same in both. Also, thanks, but I am gonna bold this entire row. No, Control B, not normal B. Control B. Control. And why is this voiceless here? I have this in my ringtone. Frontier Cave. Look, I'm using capitals in my reconstructions. I'm so cool. So we can assume T, J. And then seems, yeah, I can see it's the same. This is such a good song. BillWords.com. This reconstruction, this word I definitely feel leans towards the branch A side. But I think that might just be because of how similar the two words are. So like any little leaning over looks like a huge leaning over. I created some pretty cool correspondences. I mean, by pretty cool, I usually just mean like this. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Because in these two ones, there's nothing that can separate it. There's no condition. These ones, it just like unless I missed a condition, but I don't think I'm not gonna go through and read all that. Because this one, you can tell because all of these are initial and all of these are not. But this one, there wasn't any discernible pattern I could find. So no, it looks similar, but that's not the word you're thinking of. Copy, paste. No, because here's where you're wrong. There's one thing. The one that's here and the here. This. And I was gonna say this looks so weird. Oh, hold on. One of my friends is messaging me. I'm gonna I'm gonna stop screen sharing for a little bit. What does he want? Do I have to? Discord's not opening. I am in task. I had to go into Discord and I had to go into Task Manager and end Discord as a task in the background. Help me! Oh, I'm gonna text him that I live. I'm gonna tell him watch it now. Okay. Anyway, bah. Linguistic reconstruction jump scare. Oh, wait, hold on. New correspondence alert. What do I do? I mean, unless there's like something that goes on. Because, like, you can't really do anything with it. I mean, the only thing I saw. The only thing I can see. The only pattern I can see is that this unvoiced N is never word initial. But there's also plenty of not word initial voiced N's. So can I just safe to say that there's not not a pattern? I think it's pretty safe to say that there's not a pattern, right? Anyway, new correspondence emerged. Th and v. I'm gonna assume, because here's the thing, right? Th, this is the only one in the entire branch A to contain the phoneme th. And this is also the only one in the entire branch B, actually in the entire language family, to contain the phoneme v. So I might just assume that if we have a th here and a v here. Now what does this come to? You might think, oh, we can't tell because it's kind of like a completely unrelated phoneme. But I'm gonna go on a wild guess here. And say that it is the. Because the thing where you do the dental fricative to labiodental fricative is actually not that rare, at least in English. And if we have to do choose one thing, because I noticed that branch A has a lot of devoicing. So it devoices this and labiodentalizes this. It seems reasonable. And it just makes sense in my mind. Fuck nah. Yeah. Fuck nah. That's the word, and then it's Wagner. So I'm pretty sure this actually enacts our rule where in branch B it turns to g before consonants. And I told him to watch my stream. Where is he? I'm spamming him. I'm spamming this man. I don't care. He doesn't join my stream. I don't even care. I don't even care, dude. It just gives me dopamine seeing that number going from 1 to 2. It has no other positive impact. I feel like I'm minorly upset. Because I feel like there's got to be some pattern in this that changes this N to be voiceless. The only problem is that when I search for a voiceless N, it gives me all of the N's. Here's what I'm seeing. The pattern that I should have noticed before. All of the voiceless N's appear next to K. Which means what I think I can do is I can do this. I can have Kn and have it be Kn. Kn. You know. And then in branch B, it's G, it's Kn, it's Kn in branch A, and Gn in branch B. This is actually really reasonable. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. And yeah. Okay, you know why I'm not doing anything? Because I don't have any music. Rec music of the state capital. This is only 30 seconds. Left in the center of a rectangle. Help me. I'm trapped in a loading screen. Bet that jump scared you. Do I want to change the notation for this? I feel like I want to. Just because I don't want this. This looks ugly to me. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna invent a diacritic. I'm gonna invent a diacritic that turns anything from a plosive into an affricate. And it's gonna be an underdot. So I'm just gonna write here. Like I'm gonna make a little note. Underdot equals affricate. Oh wait, no, hold on, because that wouldn't do anything. That won't do anything for this. Because then you wouldn't be able to tell whether or not this is ta or ta or ta. So I don't think I want to do that. Idea. It turns it from a fricative into an affricate. So then it would be this. And it would be this. See, now we are cooking, actually. Actually, no, hold on. Okay, yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. This... Do I want to do a different font? No, because different fonts, like, this, that doesn't work. So, we can do, like... No, that doesn't... That's not here. I mean, I could just do Arial. I mean, just do Times New Roman. It looks fine. It looks fine. It doesn't look fine. Why is the dot off center? Oh, well, I don't really care. but that means I need to put into effect the orthography change. Doesn't it just look so much better? Also, I think I can just change this to an R. Because, like, none of these have a single R in either word except for this, and that might be a typo. Or it might just be like an irregular sound change. So I think I can just get away with having that be an R. Okay. I'm going to the bathroom. Ugh. Oh my days. Unless you do something like this, right? You could, if you really wanted to. Hold on, hold on. This might work, this might not work. Use, instead of using theta, use thorn. And at least the diacritic is centered now? And plus, come on. You really can't resist using thorn. Um. I mean, think about this. Think about this. There's like O. See how L is the same in both? So it just makes logical sense to have it be like this in both as well. No, 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 no. I wasn't even thinking for a second. Okay. We have this. This is the word I was fearing getting to. Because what do we do? Like, what do we even do here? Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go the branch C, and because branch C has an E here, I'm gonna with an E. I mean, you could just say that there's a sound change that like that there's like a sound change, but what I think is that this is an irregular sound change. That yeah, the fact that this right here is the only E, the only E that doesn't that in its branch B counterpart, it is not the same thing. I'm inclined to say that this is an irregular sound change. Is doing anything you can't explain and not doing any research, calling it an irregular sound change, a good thing? No, probably not. But whatever. I've been streaming for 1.5 hours, which is pretty much as long as I've been doing this. Because I started doing this like exactly as I started, like around the same time I started streaming. And I've gotten pretty far. Actually, no, I haven't. I've only tried to do brand, and you know, because think about this. It's a pretty long way in terms of like actually doing things. Because normally I never get this far. And if the whole challenge was just to do reconstruct branch A and branch B, I probably wouldn't have been finishing this. Because it'd seem like such a daunting task. But to put it as part of a larger whole, I'm fine. Do you see what I'm going with? No, 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 no. Okay. But anyway, I'm inclined to say that it's just this. Because of the fact that it's A in branch C. Dude, can I even like I don't want to get like oh fancy, but like can I just listen to the thing? I remember when everyone was going crazy about this. And okay, you know what? This is I have no idea what just happened. Like my stream just died for no reason. But we're back. Oh, hey, look, there's someone else here. That's definitely a unrelated person. Right, you know. Right. I'm not streaming. And I swear, if I'm getting sick, I will scream. Yeah, okay. K C. That's not this and this has nothing relating to each other. In terms of like the number. I need you know, this. Yoink. Yoink. Okay. Now here's the thing, right? OU. Here's what I'm thinking. If we have this here, this here. Okay, I guess it's just oh, okay. I guess he views the length mark as a diacritic. It views the length mark as a diacritic. That's nice. But I haven't seen any other long vowels, so it's like can I just assume that that's the only long vowel? There's a geminated sh here. But I can just assume that it's like this. And it's like this. Because I feel like it'd be like this, and then it'd be like this. This seems a little reasonable. It just seems the tiniest bit reasonable. And I forgot to bring back music. Doesn't he have like one Keys improv where he actually no. This is a copy song. Oh, it's a notable recording. That's just his name. Do I just continue without music? I think I can do that. Oh, hey, look, something I didn't actually know. I did come prepared for this. I lied. Actually, why didn't I do this before? Am I stupid, or am I stupider? Actually, no, because if I was stupid, I would have never thought of that. Okay. Oh, wait, I just realized. I'm using this L, because I should probably have it like this. I'm using this L for both this and that. So I think I'm going to have to go through and look for all of the L's that I was using. And replace them with this. This feels like a compound word, you know? Just the fact that there's two stresses, these two definitely feel like compound words. Like, just the fact that these two are like the only ones with two stress. It hints at them being a compound word, but I don't think them being a compound word really matters. Maybe it's a compound word that they forgot was a compound word. Um, can I just assume that's a regular that's voiceless? Yeah, I think I can assume that. I mean, that's just this. Oh wait, no, hold on. No, because I've been using the voiceless version, right? Yeah, I've been using the voiceless version. I mean, I'm supposed to use a voice version. Oh wait, should I have a different consonant for when both are z? I mean, this is the only one here with z. I don't know. There's a lot of assumption. You can maybe say that Z was already in the language before, and it evolved into S, but it just happened to evolve not into S in this one. I'm definitely gonna end stream once I finish this. I am tired. And then we have this. I don't know, just call it this for right now. Alright, that's it for the list. That's also all for today. Well, I've been streaming for 2 hours. Alright, I'm ending it.